Hello Pisces, and welcome to your April 2025 tarot card reading. Let's go ahead and get started here with an oracle deck. So what is it that Pisces needs to know for April? All right, we have a card that says it is time to release negativity. So I don't know exactly what's negative in your life right now, whether there's an actual person or a circumstance that you really have to get away from, but probably it's more mindset, right? I would imagine. And it's time to really step away from that fearful, scarce place and start looking more toward the abundance and the future and the possibilities and what could be, because there's going to be so much more richness and fulfillment and satisfaction with that kind of an outlook. And not just the outlook itself, but the steps that are taken in that direction. Okay, we have to remember that it's not just all about mindset, right? We have to put our money where our mouth is. We have to put our body in that trajectory. So, the best way to release negativity is to do the things that counteract the negativity, right? If we're feeling afraid of something, like let's say a financial thing, okay, we're afraid of money, we're afraid of this, bill or whatever. It's appropriate to take a course of action that is going to alleviate that fear, okay? So let's see what else comes through with the oracle, the animal spirit oracle. Let's see what comes through for Pisces. What is it that you need to know for April? We have nothing is wasted. Usually when this card comes out, I really see it as like nothing wasn't worth it. Everything had a place, everything had a purpose, everything had some kind of a lesson. And maybe now is a time to kind of extract the lesson from whatever negative experience or whatever negativity you're hanging on to, and kind of say, okay, I'm ready to kind of get out of this mindset. I'm ready to get out of this place. It wasn't a waste because I learned X, Y, and Z things, and maybe that's something that my soul really needed to go through, and that's fine. But now I'm going to focus on more things. So when we think of something as like, oh, nothing was a waste, then we see substance there and we see meaning there. Not that everything has to be also philosophical all the time, but it helps us to make more positive decisions in the future. Okay, here's Marmalade. Sorry about that. He's my chonky one, so he's probably going to come in and... Okay, Marm? All right. We have Justice, we have Temperance, and we have the King of Coins. All right, so as we make our way into April, we have... a nice balanced card with the Justice card. It does signify adjustments that are being made. This may not necessarily mean an equal balance for you Pisces. That may not be what you need right now, because I'm looking at the cups here and I'm clearly seeing the water being poured from one cup into another. So maybe it's not so much about keeping those scales perfectly balanced so much as it is like they were kind of skewed like this, and now it's time for those scales to kind of go the other direction. It's time for that pendulum to swing in the other way. You're going to have to deal with the adjustment energy that it can be tough sometimes. There has to be perhaps maybe some behavioral changes. Of course, definitely mental ones coming through here. There has to be physical adjustments, maybe adjustments to your schedule, to your timing, to how you live your life, your lifestyle a little bit. And it's time. I think that this Justice card is actually coming through very empowered, where it's not necessarily a greater force pushing itself down on you so much as it is you saying from the inside out, all right, I am going to push this pendulum from one side to the other. But with Temperance, again, this does not feel unruly. Okay, yes, the adjustments can be a little bit difficult at times, but with the Temperance card, I see you being very much at peace with everything. And honestly, I feel like you're ready for that pendulum to swing as well. Like, I don't see that you're pushing back against it. I don't see that you're upset or frustrated by it. It feels extremely peaceful. It's like one of those moments in life where change becomes possible, and it really does feel like an easy flow where you don't have to fight with life so much. So the releasing of negativity, as we see with this one card, feels natural to me. I don't know that you have to really sit there and concentrate and say, okay, stop thinking like this. I think it's just a natural effect of what happens when you're ready to move on. And with the King of Coins, there's a message that you are kind of creating channels. Now, this card to me speaks to affluence, all right? And usually when we have affluence, it doesn't have to necessarily mean money, but it could mean money if that's what you're here for. But affluence, really creating a lot of inflow from a lot of different areas. So from an income perspective, right, you've got a lot of sources of income. From a romantic standpoint, maybe you decide to kind of open up your options. Maybe you try a dating app, maybe you start going out and being social, maybe you let someone set you up with their friend, whatever. But you create a lot of channels so that that energy can come to you. Because this is deeply feminine, right? The king, it's a king, but it's a king of coins, it's a king of earth. So there's a power when it comes to that feminine element there. It's not fast. It's kind of nice and slow. Everything about this reading, everything about April feels really nicely paced so far. But I do see you being really, really open to a lot of possibilities here, which again is great, because when you open yourself up like that, the natural effect is, one, you release the negativity, and two, you actually can receive. Okay? So what comes through here with the second row? What else does Pisces need to know? 10 of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and 10 of Wands. Okay. So the remainder of Aries season, okay, because it's, a few weeks, the sun comes in Taurus on the 19th of April, and the majority of Aries season in April anyway, does seem to be peaceful, calm, and good. Even here, the 10 of Cups, there does seem to be something good that clearly you want to have happen that actually happens. There is some kind of maybe emotional victory that happens. The 10 of Cups, there's a satisfied, fulfilled, grateful, deeply appreciative quality that rings out. Now, one of the things astrologically that's going on is April 12th, we have Venus stationing direct in Pisces, directly on top of Saturn. It's within a degree of Saturn, so very, very close to Saturn. And as she stations, of course, she's going to stop and start moving in the other direction. Some zodiac signs, this feels a little bit more challenging. For you, Pisces, I feel like this is going to be actually a blessing. You're going to feel the release of that retrograde, of the Venus retrograde. And I think there's going to be a feeling solid and feeling good. To me, the King of Coins feels like there's some element of consistency. I think you're willing to be persistent with things. Everything here feels super manageable. It feels doable, like nothing seems really intimidating or overwhelming. And actually, that quality of just manageability, I think motivates you in the middle of April to kind of do perhaps a little bit more. Okay, on the 16th, actually, let me verify that date. Hold on. Yeah, the 16th, Mercury comes into Aries, all right, which is your second house. And I feel like between the 12th and the 16th, that like little 4-day period of time, you're going to start to feel yourself now kind of speeding up. So as we make our way into the middle of April, which is kind of the end of Aries season, Pisces, you're going to start to speed up. Queen of Wands tends to want to really initiate and get things going. She really pushes herself pretty hard. And she has big dreams and she has these, tenacious ambitions. And she tends to like say, okay, let's rally, let's go. And she's fast and she's not going to sit around forever. Now, this is a very relaxed entry here, I would say. But middle of April, like I say, you're going to start to feel that fire kind of creeping up a little bit more. And I think in the middle of April, you are going to be ready to kind of take more on, toward the fulfillment of your dreams and your goals. Okay, this is not just any work. Okay, the Ten of Wands is hard work. It's back-breaking, time-sucking, like really a lot of labor kind of work. But that is probably a really good thing. And I think you're prepared to handle that. Now, when I say backbreaking, I don't want you to feel like this is a burden. I don't want you to feel like this is oppressive, because it is not. All right. This is work that you willingly do because you understand that it is necessary. All right. And this is the kind of work that you do when you are positive about the outcome. And when I say positive, I just mean you have an optimistic viewpoint. Okay. When you are optimistic about what could be and the results, the Ten of Wands feels necessary. And it is necessary. This is not a time astrologically where we can just like really sit back and just kind of la-di-da through life. Okay, we have to really put in the time, because we have Pluto now, as of November, in Aquarius. And this is a whole new era. And we can't just saunter our way into a whole new era, right? We need some momentum. We need something to go off of. We need something to start to bloom and to grow. Not to mention that it is Aries, Taurus, Gemini season. This is a time of blossoming. Okay, so we're going to need that push. These are the seasons right now, April, May, June, when things start to genuinely change. Okay, so we understand that this is necessary. Is it hard work? Yes. But are you willing to do it? Absolutely yes. Are you ready? Absolutely yes. Okay, this is something that you do have to kind of do by yourself. I'm not really seeing partnership energy. All right, so it's something that you just take on your own, something you decide that you want and you do it. And this is how you kind of take those scales and start swinging that pendulum in the other direction. Now, these start the reading off, but I feel like it's going to take a few weeks for those scales to really do their thing. It's not the fastest, it's not the slowest thing either, but it's not the fastest thing. So expect it to take a few weeks, okay? Because when we hit Taurus season, let's see what comes through here for Taurus season. What does Pisces need to know for Taurus season for the rest of April? Yeah, this is actually a really common card in this position, in this particular like lower left position. This card has come out quite a bit here, which tells me that the entry into Taurus season is typical Taurus fashion, a bit stubborn, okay? So as you make your way out of Aries, okay, I also want to tell you this. So on the 18th of April, this is when Mars re-enters Leo. Okay, so he was retrograde between Leo and Cancer. Now he's moving forward from Cancer back into Leo again. And as he does so around this time, he's going to come into that final opposition with Pluto over in Aquarius. So we have the Pluto-Mars opposition going on for the third time. And this kind of feels like it's a little bit of a timeout. So as we enter Taurus season, it is also a little bit slow in the same way that Aries season is a little bit slow. You speed up a little bit here in that you are declaring that you are ready to do what it takes. But I also don't see you being in a rush. Now, she may be in a rush for a minute, but that energy is going to quickly go back to the Four of Coins, and it's going to lock in. Now, the Four of Coins is dedicated, committed. It can be a little bit scarce. Okay, so if you have struggled with that scarcity mindset to some degree, it may kind of click back in the beginning of Taurus season, but that is also very quickly coming to an end here as well. Okay, it's kind of coming up, I think, as the Mars-Pluto opposition happens, specifically to be called up, to be put down. That was the whole point of the Mars-Pluto retrograde, Mars-Pluto opposition anyway, was to go through kind of a significant transformation and to put things to an end, to experience challenges, but to also end things as well as a result of those challenges. So I think that there's like a brief revival for like you say, just a minute, and then boom, immediately comes back down. But the Ten of Swords feels like it's down for good. So I think this is your negativity coming down, never really to be revived again, hopefully. Okay. One thing I will recommend, though, is to make sure that you are truly dedicated to your strategy right now. And maybe that's something that you can do in the beginning of April, is to really sit down and make sure that you have some semblance of strategy in place. Because I think in Taurus season, you are going to have to strictly adhere to that plan and strategy. And it is going to be helpful for you to have something to reference. So like literally put down what you need to accomplish week by week, day by day, whatever, and do everything you possibly can to make sure that you stick to that and fulfill the promises that you make to yourself. The Hierophant is I often see as like a connector, right? He kind of connects us with our higher self. So there is some kind of element of truth, and there's significant stability in that truth. I want you to keep in mind, though, as we finish April, as we kind of make our way through the beginning of Taurus season, we are also preparing for Pluto retrograde, which is going to happen in Aquarius. He will not be going back into Capricorn this time. He will stay in Aquarius. And so this is the first full retrograde that we have in Aquarius, okay? And it's usually during a retrograde of a planet like Pluto. I see this with some other planets like Saturn and Mars. Saturn and Jupiter as well, specifically. But when these planets retrograde, this is when we usually see the true effects and evolution that they're trying to push forward. So what you're doing near the end of April is kind of preparing for the real push that's going to happen in May. So this kind of like, okay, universe, I'm going to take this 10 of Wands, I'm going to do all this work, I'm going to commit myself, I'm going to oblige myself to all this stuff, and then you kind of slowly creep forward. I think it's because you are going to do this, and maybe you are doing it, maybe it's current. But it's going to continue because I think there's a long ways to go here. But there's massive preparation going on in the last part of April so that when we hit May, we really can hit the ground running, okay? Thing about Earth seasons like Taurus, like Capricorn, like Virgo, I often say this is the time when we really need to take these big steps because we're working in the physical realm with the physical elements there, and we want to make sure that we are taking advantage of these seasons. So this to me feels like emotional and spiritual prep for a big evolutionary phase that is likely going to kind of push forward some kind of an agenda or project or goal that you have and that you initiated during Aries season. So, I mean, this is a slow and temperate story, but it's also powerful. And I think Pisces is kind of entering this year, I think as many people are. I think Aries season in general was kind of a slower time just simply because of what Mars, the ruling planet, is doing, being in Cancer, okay? And also we still have Saturn in Pisces, and he's starting to build up to this conjunction with Neptune. So things are kind of starting to peel back, and like it's just not as it's not as harsh of an environment necessarily. Okay? So that's a good thing. There's a lot of room for us to grow, but this is massive prep work down here and massive mental and emotional kind of clearing of the clutter, if you will. So it's going to be a good month, and I think by the end of it, you'll feel really connected with what you're doing and really connected with the plan. And there's going to be a lot more execution on the plan throughout May. It's just that right now, I think you're just kind of opening yourself up to possibility. Like, you have to get rid of this first. This has to go first, because this is going to prevent the desire and the ability and the capacity that you have to handle this. Because it's your positivity and your optimism that's going to say, yes, universe, I'm ready. And fully embrace those 10 wands. Because it needs all of you. That 10 of wands really needs your heart and soul. And if you're not ready to give your heart and soul into something, and you're kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it's going to be very hard to grow this, because this is just going to feel like drudgery. Okay? So you have to be all in it. You have to be passionate and dedicated for it. So give yourself the space, give yourself that runway so that you can really, really take off the way you were meant to. Okay? All right, Pisces. Let's go ahead and take a look at these clarifiers. So we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards that I'm about to pull out. We are going to open up every single one of these and get a lot more information about this story and what is it that Pisces needs to know, and maybe there's other people involved and whatnot. So we're going to get down there. So if you want to join for the comprehensive reading, you are welcome. The link will be in the description box and the pinned comment thread down below for easy access. Okay? So what is it that Pisces needs to know? Well, there's the release, 5 of Cups. What is it that you need to know here for the month of April? King of Swords. We have 4 of Coins again. Like I said, there's going to be a revival of something beginning Taurus season. We have the 3 of Coins, the World, and another 10 of Wands. Okay. There's a lot of mental prep work right now. We have the Strength card, the 8 of Cups. We have the 3 of Cups, 10 of Cups, King of Cups, 6 of Cups, Queen of Swords, the Lovers, Page of Swords, 4 of Cups, 2 of Coins, Seven of Coins, another Justice card, okay, 7 of Wands, another 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups, I feel like that one there. Oh, another 10 of Swords, okay, definitely that one. So let's pull out 3 more since that's a repeat. Magician, 7 of Swords, Ace of Wands, last but not least for the Hierophant, the 10 of Coins. Beautiful trajectory with the King of Coins, okay? The more open you can, oh, beautiful, Wheel of Fortune. The more beautiful, or the more you can open yourself up with that King of Coins, the faster that 10 of Coins can make itself known. Okay, and then we finish off with the Knight of Wands. So this is where we're going to pick up Pisces. So if you want to join, you're absolutely more than welcome. Thank you so much. You guys know I love and adore you. I hope you have an amazing month of April, and I'll talk to you soon.